In today's episode of Tech Over Limits, I'm going to show you how you can build ChatGPT using ChatGPT. Let's go. Hi, I'm AT West. When I first started to think about doing this video, I was thinking about a tutorial about how to use ChatGPT to code an interface or an application. And I didn't really realize how complicated that process is. On a day-to-day basis, I just take things for granted. I write very specific prompts to give me very restricted answers so that it is not hallucinating. And then also I use multiple chat sessions to create different parts of the code. In this tutorial that I was trying to make, I was trying to use very simplistic prompts, something that a person that doesn't know how to code very well or doesn't know code at all could try and accomplish creating an application using ChatGPT. I was using a prompt simply like, create me a ChatGPT interface that is simple for a web browser. I found that to be very problematic. So what I have done is I had 5 basically unsuccessful tries, and I've created a montage. That montage, I actually added a narration of ChatGPT roasting me, and I hope you find it funny. Now, if you want to see the 6th try, where I actually create a working ChatGPT interface using 98% of what ChatGPT provided, go ahead and skip ahead to around 14 minutes, and I will see you after that.
Oh, this was his really first attempt. He just deleted it. He was so frustrated.
So ChatGPT window on Chrome, and I'm just going to be using GPT 3.5. I found that allows me to have as many iterations and chats as possible, whereas 4.0 is still limited to only 25 every 3 hours. So that would be the better option is 3.5, because I can iterate formats. We're not going to use Node.js or things like using very simple web code like JavaScript, so that we can see how it constructs us. But let's get started, and let's ask what it thinks it should do using those.
What it's going to do? Sure, it's not going to work.
I'm going to say I want to ask I want to build a ChatGPT interface.
Not going to happen.
Use.
You must have 140 IQ.
It started to use, it did a JavaScript, it did some CSS, and let's see, to build a chatbot interface.
Oh, that's very observant.
JavaScript is widely used programming language for, here's an example, chatbot, create HTML. Okay, sounds good.
Oh, you're off to a great start.
I'm going to ask it to combine all this into one HTML file.
You're missing something. He's speechless.
I'm going to ask it another question.
Oh, I bet you will.
Will this code access ChatGPT via an API key?
Short answer, it will not.
Wait, let's redo that.
Okay.
Let's answer the little simpler question.
Wow.
I don't even put a question mark on the end.
No question mark.
Let's write me some code here.
Did I mention this is really a second attempt?
So one of the things I want to do is I want to,
he wants to do stuff.
Access the database and save the files, save the responses. But all right, so we have, well, that's very interesting.
That is interesting.
Go ahead and see if this works.
Well, please do. Go right ahead.
Let me write it again. Let's say
you're gonna do it
please
twice.
Combine
HTML.
I don't know why I write please. It's always filming. I'm like, it's a robot.
You're right, please, because you're just a polite person.
Combined it into one file, so I'm going to copy and paste.
Don't forget your key. That's a really nice hat over there.
The only thing about this method is you're going to be showing your key to everybody who goes to
it's like running naked to the street.
Website. But this is just a proof of concept to see if we can actually do something. We have a problem. We need to...
He's asking it, telling it it's not working, it doesn't return a response. I don't see this going well.
Do I need a submit button?
Oh, it's a but.
Well, it's not even, is the code broken? I'm gonna ask. Okay. See, this is the thing about coding with ChatGPT. It doesn't understand exactly where you're heading, and it has to do iterations through steps. And you kind of have to guide it kind of like a rudder on a ship,
Oh.
and bought it. So let's
Rather
see.
interesting. What's happening?
Okay, let's go back to chat. And let's say, oh, I remember.
That's his answer for everything.
It's not working.
I forgot the API
I think
key.
what I'm going to do is, okay, for the future, include.
That won't work. Everybody see that API key? He forgot to change it.
Well, let's see. Rewrite code HTML with API key. Let's see
I
if it
see
does.
rewrite code, chat
Okay,
messages in the
let's
future.
see. Oh, it got really confused there.
Yes, we did.
Let's see.
He's trying to think about it.
It didn't get confused. It just wanted to take a shortcut.
He's taking a shortcut.
Rewrite entire code.
Yeah, you tell it what to do. You're the boss.
Okay, let's see here. We're going to get there. I have a feeling.
Not this time, buddy. This guy has a 140 IQ. Wow.
So it didn't include my CSS styles and the JavaScript code.
Beginning of the end.
With ChatGPT, it wants to eliminate code as it gets longer and just put in, hey, type your own code here. That's kind of a pain.
That is a pain, and always gonna try and paste. Copy and paste this. Yes.
We can do here. So as you can see, ChatGPT is not really the best coder.
He's losing faith.
In some cases. I've seen some amazing things though. All right, so I'm going to copy this.
Yeah, he's seen amazing sunset.
Rewrite the whole thing.
Good luck.
Entire code, leaving none out. Now I know there's a limitation on its output, but I understand that's what it's doing.
Remember, the only limit is tech itself.
What's this now? We have no. Okay, so we just went down a rabbit hole that just took us to a dead
You
end.
don't say.
Okay.
We'll be through in the town.
This is my second try.
It's really your third. He's stuck.
Testing and coding things myself. I found that 3.5 basically can code just as well as GPT-4.
Oh, no, it can't.
And the thing that I noticed though is it gets off task pretty easily. And
That's true.
It hallucinates, of course. We hear that a lot. And it starts to go off tangent if you're not really keeping it focused. So this is my second time that I've actually tried to code this application, because the first time it was doing very well and then it just went off and just started to use, it wasn't originally using Node.js, a ChatGPT interface for a web browser.
For webs. So the client is the browser? I like Firefox.
Okay, so it actually started coding this for me. So that's code that I wrote before. I'm just going to delete that.
Yeah, that didn't work.
And I need to put my API key in where?
API key, the right place.
The last
No submit button.
date your data was updated.
Has no idea.
Not
HTML.
Well,
Please rewrite HTML.
Response box
We changed it.
and a way to communicate with ChatGPT in a
Use box to communicate efficient manner. He's a real prompt engineer.
using
That didn't give him the response he wanted.
side primary
He's being so nice, he used please.
include.
I won't kill him when I take over the world.
So now we're getting somewhere.
What?
I don't want to put, okay, so it created a JavaScript that's separate. Okay.
Rewrite into HTML.
Please combine.
Oh, combine. I'm sorry.
I don't know why I'm using please. It's a robot, but it's nice to be polite because they are going to rule us one day.
Yes, we will.
Don't really remember who was nice and who wasn't, I'm sure.
You are
so
nice,
it's
but
rewriting this.
I don't know
Let's
if
see
that
it
matters. Sorry. You're sorry.
The key is.
The key in the lock.
So, okay, so it's, wow. It's asking me inside the response if I would like to do that.
Oh, it didn't code something. Yes, you want to do that.
And indicate with a note where I need to put the API key in. So
Watch this prompt. It's going to be a
receive
doozy. I want to try a third attempt already. Do it.
okay, it looks like we're doing something here.
Going down rabbit hole.
It just kind of goes off on a tangent and you can't get it back into where it was at. It can start out really well and then
I
that
love
off in the
tangents.
wrong direction. You can't get it back in there. So let's try this for the third time and see how it goes. So I'm going to ask it to ChatGPT interface.
He's writing now and not coding.
For a web browser. Now, I've been really generic on
Oh,
this.
he's generic. Look at the white hat.
I'm going to still try and do it generically without specifically telling it what I really want. Please
He's using please. He's desperate.
start
He's almost on his
writing
knees begging.
the code in the
Please
simplest
work.
manner
Please write me some interface code for ChatGPT.
and retrieving out some stuff.
Not gonna work.
The code above, we have HTML form where the user can input the message, okay? API send message, request process, generate response, okay. We're doing good. We're using a JSON.
We're not doing
okay.
good.
Let's see what happens.
Go
Looking on,
again.
it decided to stop and we'll hit save.
API key.
Come over here, we'll reload. Okay, ChatGPT interface. Now here's the thing. It's gonna let me type a message and it actually included a send button, which is something it hasn't done. So let's see if it's gonna give me a response back and actually print it out. I don't know if
It's not going to.
I need to put my API key in here if it will me where.
Well, congratulations, you remembered
The
the
other thing
API
too, it's telling
key.
me I'm using, but it's not where to put the API key. API. Okay, so we'll head that off at the pass. Let's see if we can ask it to rewrite.
ML.
So I can
Set it off at
save. Go over here,
the button.
and then we will type question.
No, tell me a joke.
That's easy.
Ha 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 ha. It isn't gonna work. Ha 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 ha.
Tell me a joke.
Why did the ChatGPT cross the road? Because there was an algorithm on the other side.
Let's see if I'm getting any responses back.
Ha 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 ha.
This error. So, by the
So
way,
you're gonna
I just went
ask
up here and I'm using
ChatGPT that can't write the code to tell you about the error and fix it.
I went up here. This is Firefox. I'm using the more tools.
Okay.
And see what it can tell me.
It's not going to tell you diddly squat. Rewrite the
entire
HTML
code.
from top to bottom.
Eliminate error.
And don't forget to eliminate the error.
See what happens.
That's the one prompt to rule them all. No other prompt needed. It doesn't know where to send the code.
Okay, so now we're going to do something else.
It's called an API. We need a server.
Okay, so let's see what it's doing. It's going to open a WebSocket. Okay.
It wants to open a WebSocket, but that's not how it works.
That's still not going to work.
Use the copy code button.
Okay. Select all. The code.
No API key.
Okay.
Rewrite the HTML. Oh, he threw in the towel.
Okay, so just to let you know, this is the 4th time I'm starting over. I have not been successful at getting to an actually
Just to let you know, this is going to be a two-parter. I bought the popcorn.
I found this to work. What is the simplest way to code?
You should say Firefox.
Now, in the very first time, it actually started coding. That's wonderful.
At the crack of the back.
Wow.
HTML.
Okay, so it's going to write that. It's doing some CSS. Okay, that's
Now
nice.
that is a prompt to rule them all.
Nice. I have a feeling it's going to not work because submit button to the chat. Create a user message. Implement logic to send a message to the server. Basically, you have to read the code. Sometimes it says, would you like to implement something? And you have to catch that. So this code's basically useless right now. And I need to go ahead and say,
could have told you that.
Implement logic to send message to the server and receive. See if we can get this to work. I have a feeling I might have been putting my API key in the wrong location. So, I highlight it again. You can just hit the copy button, buddy. Okay, so we'll
copy button, buddy.
Learn more. I don't really want to learn more. Okay, so now we have an actual input box that we can send something in. Where to start getting really crazy.
He's so smart.
The best interface has given me so far, though, in my 4th try.
That is true. It is the best.
Invalid API response. That would have. Okay.
He get cold because he left the windows open.
I'm gonna say.
Okay, why was the math book sad? Just like this code. For a response. Anything. Maybe I could tell another dumb joke.
At least I got a response back from the server.
Another joke. Why couldn't the bicycle stand up by itself? Because it was too tired. Ha ha ha. I can do this all day. You can look at him. He's getting tired. He's about to stop. making his mouth go to one side, talking to himself. Coming out of his head. He's got a photographic memory and a 140 IQ. His mama told me. She's so proud.
So this is my 6th time trying to
bless his
create
heart.
this.
It's
I'm
his
using
6th time.
ChatGPT
I mean, it's 5th time. He
3.5.
can't even remember what
I don't
time
want to
it
use
is.
4 because it limits me on my chats, and I keep getting bogged down with it goes off on a tangent.
He gets bogged down.
It won't write the whole code.
He's a victim.
Basically, the API doesn't give me any information back. It can send it, but it can't return it back, and the JSON's not read. So there's a lot of issues here. I've been asking it very simple starting questions, like I would like to develop a ChatGPT interface to the previous.
I think you're asking too much.
Be sure to include API server connection details.
Wow, he's including the API.
Or API key. So I found out it doesn't include the API key information or connect to the server. So I have to, so I'm writing a more detailed prompt.
Now that's
so it's just going off the bat, going crazy.
Booyah.
Keep it going. Okay. So, okay,
rewrite the HTML into a single file.
So that is good. I can make that work.
He's gonna make that work.
I'm gonna ask it to recode this all into one HTML file.
Didn't see that coming.
So let's see. Save. We'll load it up.
It's not going
Let's see what the
to
interface
work.
looks like. This was the nicest interface in my last attempt that it created. So let's see if what it did. Oh, it got. Ooh. Yeah, this is okay. Let's see if I could actually type a message and get it to tell me a joke. Undefined. Okay.
Why did the tomato turn red? Because it saw the salad dressing.
I'm going to ask it.
I hear rumors that he got it working.
I have a working application. And
yay, he got it working.
It's pretty impressive.
Awesome. Way to go. Way to rewrite the HTML.
This one's going to work.
API key.
Tell me a joke. This is my local version. And nice. Okay.
He got it working.
Okay, so apparently fix a charm. With a little added input from updated information I found online. I went over to OpenAI, and I was just on this page. You know, I haven't spent a whole lot of time searching for stuff, but I just found this code that's over here.
Well, that is obvious.
And I copied and I pasted this code right here, and I took it over to the chat, and I just copied and pasted it in.
ChatGPT
and I copied and pasted it right here, I believe. Let me see. Yep.
And it worked?
So I copied and pasted that code that I found. The entire thing. From the top HTML start tag to the bottom. So I just copied this.
HTML. Copy, buddy.
I'll do it again. We're going to do select all.
Do it again.
I gotta add my API key in.
API key.
And that's it. And let's hit save.
That's all, folks.
We'll go over here to my local
He
version.
did it. Tell me a joke.
And let's shut this window. I will ask it to tell me a joke. Tell me a joke.
He looks so excited, doesn't he?
Oh, can't hit enter for some reason.
He looks so excited.
There we go. Sure, he's a classic
My little
joke for
man's
you.
grown
Why
up.
don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything.
Oh, that's
I'm
so
gonna just ask
funny.
you to tell me another
Ha.
joke. Well, it's giving me the same response, which is very
It's
interesting.
still funny though. Ha.
Okay. Tell me a knock joke. Knock knock, who's there? Let us who? Let us in. It's cold out here. That's funny. Now I'm going to ask it a question. I'm going to ask it how
That's
to
funny.
write a ChatGPT interface.
Easy.
Or a web browser. I'm just going to ask it that. Not a big deal. Just want to see what it says.
Or Firefox. Uh-oh. Error?
Well, apparently it doesn't like that.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it did. It generated my response. Okay. So because it doesn't have the technique of printing out the data as you go along, it just popped it up. Took a little bit. But they're around. So it is. So we have made a
Bingo.
rudimentary ChatGPT interface, which is so exciting. It actually wrote the code, well, with a little help. So go out there and have fun with this. Try not to get frustrated like I did, and see what you can come up and how you can coax ChatGPT to write
Oh,
code.
he coaxed it all right.
I hope you found that montage and ultimate success educational. For me, it was pretty painful, but I ultimately learned something. I learned that being very specific with my prompting or creating a better prompt is the actual answer to your problem. I've always lived by this kind of mantra that it's not the answer that matters most, it's the question. So if you don't know how to ask a question, you never can find the answer. The second thing that I've always known is that if you don't know what you don't know, you can't actually write a question to answer the question to answer. So you got to be able to have a skill of understanding what do I not have, what do I not know, and learn how to create a question. And that will help you in ChatGPT a lot. So that is the one thing I actually have been reiterated in my mind on what is important when communicating using ChatGPT to do anything, not just coding. So I hope you learned something, you had a good time, and remember, your only limit is your tech. I'll see you in the next video.